Well, in case you needed it, I thought it would be my duty to provide a list of the top 10 things to graciously say when receiving a gift that you don't particularly like. So, number 10. Wow. If I had not shot up 4 sizes, this would fit. Number 9. It'd be a shame if this accidentally got thrown away. It's terrible. Number 8. Oh, perfect to wear in the basement. Number 7. Well. Number 6. I really don't deserve this. Number 5. Gosh, I hope this never catches fire. Number 4. I love it, but I fear the jealousy it will inspire. Number 3. If the dog buries it, I'll be furious. Number 2. Sadly, tomorrow I enter the witness protection program. And the top 10 thing to say graciously when receiving a gift you don't like is to think that I vowed this year to give all my gifts to charity. Oh boy. So good morning. And here we are in the middle of Advent and celebrating the love that we are. The love that is a very strong pillar to birth in our awareness the truth of what we are. And that's what we celebrate in Christmas. That's how in unity we define Christmas as the birth in our awareness of the Christ, of the divinity that we are. And so over the past 7 weeks, it's been my joy to share with you the wisdom of Don Miguel and Don Jose Ruiz from the Fifth Agreement. And this is our final week of that focus, but consciously on Sunday morning. But my prayer is that as a community and as individuals that we continue to embody this and live it. Because I tell you, there's lots of systems of truth out there. And this one, if we just lived from this one, I know for myself, if I could just remember these agreements each and every day, I think I could experience heaven a lot more in my life. So, all right, let's review the 5 agreements. The first agreement, can anybody tell me what it is? Be impeccable with your word. Number 2, don't take things personally. Number 3, don't make assumptions. Number 4, always do your best. Number 5, be skeptical and learn to listen. Yes, so here we are. So how are you doing with that? Okay. I see some looks like, I get it. So today, what we're going to talk about is a new point of view as we integrate these teachings into our life. And I thought the authors were brilliant because they put this section of the book after their agreements. Because what they describe, they call it the dream of the attentions. And there's their dream of the first attention, dream of the second attention, and dream of the third attention. Because what they say is, and what I've heard too, where our attention goes, energy flows. Where our attention goes, energy flows. And so what they're describing is they describe these dreams. Remember, we're always dreaming, right? Remember, that's the context of this study, is that we're always dreaming because we're all in our own story, perceiving the world as we uniquely perceive it. And so what they want to support us as we're working on really integrating these teachings, these agreements into our lives, is to be aware of our process. To be aware of our process. And so these dreams of the attentions describe exactly what our process is as we confront that we're holding on to an old limiting belief and we want to let it go and then to embrace something new. This is a process. And this so mirrors the teachings of unity as well. So I'll kind of try to poke that in too. But it was really fun to see, truth just is truth. So, all right, so let's kind of dive into this process, because I want to support you as well, with the authors, to, as you leave here today, to know that, I'm sure you know, life is still flowing, and that each day you're going to have an opportunity to work with these agreements, right? Yeah, all right. And so to be aware of the process, I think, is very helpful. All right, so the dream of the first attention is another way to say we're living in hell. I know. That's not the fun one, but it's something to be aware of. Okay, and so how they describe that is that when we're in this dream, we're focusing our attention on how we've been victimized. Okay, so here's the process. So it's we're in life, and something happens, and we're feeling victimized by it. We're feeling hurt. We're feeling separate. Our tyrant has taken over, and you know what I mean by the tyrant? The tyrant is the judge, the cynic that says really ugly things to you and thinks really ugly things about others. All right? So here we are, and we're in this process where we're feeling really, really not good. All right. And so, unfortunately, the authors say that the majority of the people on this planet are living in this dream because they haven't had an awareness that they're living in that dream. Okay? So, as we look at the dream of the second attention, which is warriors. Okay, so here we are. We're in a situation, and we're feeling separate, and we're feeling really icky, and then we have an awareness. Oh, wow, I'm feeling victimized by this. I don't like how this feels. And so when we are in that space, because we are aware, we want things to be different. And so we try to start making things be different. We engage, and they call it the war. That sounds like some pretty heavy language. But, okay, so let's translate that. Think about many of you, and I talk about this in most of my classes because it feels so relevant, about our embedded theology. Think about why you're here in Unity. How many of you came from a more traditional background? See, okay. So I'm going to, I shouldn't say I'm going to make an assumption because I'm not supposed to do that. How about I assert that something didn't work for you there? It doesn't mean we don't honor it, folks, because the foundation of all these agreements is respect for ourselves and for others. Knowing that we're all in our own dream, okay? We're all living our own story. So here we are in this dream of the second attention where we're at war with what we see, injustices. And so translating that into the church experience, maybe we were sitting in the audience and we just could no longer hear that we were lowly sinners, that we were unworthy, mea culpa, mea culpa. Oh, I can't even say it. Yeah. So we made a different choice. See, and that's what this is about. We started to make a new agreement. And then here we are at Christmas time. And through my coaching years and in my own life experience, it's looking at, Christmas for many families is like, this is just the way we do it. And sometimes I have heard from folks that it doesn't feel loving sometimes. And I've heard that people have made other decisions where they take a trip or they go and they be with their family of heart instead of their birth family, maybe. That's what I'm talking about here. And the authors want us to know that this is all a part of the process of transformation, where you have an experience where you feel separate, and then all of a sudden you become aware and you go, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right to me anymore. I want to make another choice here. You see? And so then the next dream of the third attention is called masters. And that's when we start to make another decision. That's when we take on a new point of view. See, Jesus said, is quoted as saying in the book of John, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." See, I think that the reason that we get so worked up inside is that we know inherently, underneath everything that's happening, that we are free, that we deserve to be free, that we are inherently loved, inherently whole. And sometimes what we've created is a world that doesn't tell us that, you see. And so in this third attention, when we're looking at mastery, what we're doing is we're putting on new glasses, a new lens. We're becoming what they call the seer. Because when we become the seer, we see behind the story. We see behind our own story. Remember, they say, don't believe yourself. And we see behind the stories of others. We see what's true. And when we can see what's true, if I can see behind your story and I can see that you are beautiful and whole, and you too are on this journey of wanting to know the truth of what you are, I can be more gentle with myself, and I can certainly be more gentle with you. Okay, so let's translate this into an actual scenario. So, someone in your workplace, someone in your life says something to you that's really hurtful. And you go, oh, I don't like that. And we start to struggle with it. And we start to feel victimized by it. And we start to want to blame and judge and lash out. We want to pick up the phone and call our best friend and go, do you know? We want to be in our story about it. So that's the dream of the first attention when we're in victim. The dream of the second attention is we want to create heaven. We go, wait a minute. Wait. I notice I'm angry. I really am angry. And you might even reach out and want to have a conversation with that person that hurt you. Maybe it doesn't go very well. But you know you're incongruent with the truth. You know it. And so you try to work with it. And so then the dream of the third attention of mastery comes when you go, I get it. I get it. This person is in their story and their dream, and I'm in mine, and we're rubbing up against each other right now. What's the truth behind the story? What's the truth? Is this person love? Am I love? I think so. Let me be that seer. Let me be what holds the high watch in this situation. And from that, what I've noticed about my own process is that I'm then able to tap into my infinite wisdom, ask what is mine to do to handle it gently and in integrity with being impeccable with my word. See, we're not talking about you just laying over and going, okay, they can walk on me. It's not that. But it's doing it in a way where you can stand in your knowing of the truth of what you are and the truth of the other person and navigate it from love, from knowing. And that, folks, is the journey. That's the process. It's the resurrection journey. Because, we get to die. The Apostle Paul said, I die daily. Folks, we die daily every time we make a conscious choice to be love, to know and claim what we are. And there's a quote from the authors I wanted to share with you this morning. The highest point of your journey back to you is the moment when you finally see yourself through the eyes of truth. If you can see your authentic self, you will love what you see. You will see the magnificence of your presence. You see how wonderful and beautiful you are. You see the perfection in you. And this breaks any doubt that anyone else ever put in your head. You see that you are light, that you are life. And see, folks, this is the truth that sets us free. And then they go on to invite us to be the messenger so that we can make an impact on the planet. See, folks, can you imagine? I mean, all of us today, we leave here and we're like, okay, I know the truth and I'm going to practice these agreements. There is no way, because we're one, that it can't have a ripple effect in the world. And so the authors say this is how we shift the planet. We become the messenger. We become the seer. We know the truth. We know what's available to us as we're impeccable with our word, as we don't take things personally, as we stop making assumptions, as we always do our best, and we constantly use doubt to question ourselves, what we're telling ourselves, and what we hear in the world. So, here we are. This is really the beginning of this study, isn't it? Yeah. So, this is our way to go be love. And so I hold with you that as you go out and be with your families or whatever is yours to do for Christmas this year, that you are able to remember these agreements and to be gentle with yourself if you just don't keep them, and celebrate when you do. And as a community, my prayer is that we continue to work with these agreements with each other and as a whole. Do we say yes to that? Let's do that. All right, just take a deep breath with me. And let's affirm together our affirmation this morning. I am gentle with myself as I continue to choose awareness and conscious living. I love and accept myself and others as I learn more each day the truth I am. I change my world.